Welcome to my first video of 2025. 2025 has been off to a pretty rough start. I'm starting off the year sick, but it can only go up from here, so that's good. I didn't really make any videos for YouTube in 2024, and my goal for 2025 is to at least make like one a week. 2024 was full of just highs and lows, a lot of lows, and I was wrestling with how much I wanted to share with my online community because there's some things you need to keep personal and some things that can be helpful to others when you share them. If you're new here, I started out on TikTok making content about my chronic illness. I went into 2024 with a chronic illness called POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. I started sharing about life with chronic illness on TikTok, and through TikTok last year, I earned about $20,000. That was a huge blessing because I had to quit my job because of POTS. So just being able to earn money doing what I love was so crazy and exciting. I'm at around 82,000 followers on TikTok and about 20,000 followers on Instagram. I'm very thankful for that and for all of you. And then another high of the year, we also adopted a kitty this year. Her name is Eleanor. We call her Ellie. She's adorable. If she approaches me, which I'm sure she will, I'll show. I also got to see my family. I think I flew to Georgia 3 times this last year, but normally I can only maybe go once. So great to see my family. Not under the best circumstance, but seeing my family at any time just brings me so much joy. I also started attending a new church. I have been struggling to go because I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety, but lately I have been going more, and I'm hoping to find a community there soon. My family moved to Georgia. A lot of my friends that I grew up with moved away, so I've been feeling a little lonely, but I'm hoping in 2025 my goal is to make friends. And now for the lows, kind of the harder parts of my year. I did not think I would ever go through anything that I went through this last year. Wait, my cat's here. My cat's here. Hi. Isn't she the cutest? She's okay. Beans. A moment for the beans. I love her. She's just a baby. Anyways, this last year was really hard. I think everything just came at me all at once, and I did not know how to deal with it. Dealing with a chronic illness itself is already really hard, and you really start to grieve when you have a chronic illness, and it's not just a grieving process, one and done. I feel like I'm going through cycles of grief. I know you might be saying, Becky, what are you grieving? What do you mean? Like you look great. What are you grieving? No one died. I am grieving my old body. I miss everything that I used to be able to do. I struggle to do a lot of things, and I know it doesn't look like it. And that's another struggle that I have. Because it doesn't look like I struggle with things, people assume that I'm fine and don't understand a lot of what I'm going through. But the community here and on TikTok and on Instagram has been extremely helpful to me. You help me not feel so alone. I'm dealing with my chronic illness. I am missing my family. This happened like 6 years ago, and I feel like this is something I should just get over by now. But again, it's kind of just in cycles of these, like this deep sadness that I feel. My family moved far away, and I miss them a lot, and I just go through these intense seasons of lonely. So I'm sick. I don't feel good. It's hard for me to do things. I miss the body I used to have. My family is far away. And then my husband told me that he was no longer a Christian. And that really hit me hard, especially after dealing with the other two. I just felt so alone. He knows that I share it on social media. He's okay with it being shared now, but for about a year we didn't tell anyone. Honestly, I do think I made it too much about me at the beginning. I felt like, why me? Why does this have to happen? Why are all of these things happening to me? Not recognizing that he is going through a lot too. He is struggling with his loss of faith, and that is a huge burden to have. So anyways, I'll move on from that. That is more of his story to tell than mine. I don't think this is something I've shared on YouTube before. Moving on. I was diagnosed with PMDD, that's premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Basically, 2 weeks out of every month, I convince myself that I don't want to be alive anymore. I do not feel like that outside of those 2 weeks. So it's really scary that 2 weeks of every month, and that's a lot, that's like half of my month, I feel extremely depressed and down and hopeless. I think it was about October that timeline extended, and it was no longer just PMDD. I was having severe depression for about a month. Those feelings didn't go away after my period. So I talked to my doctor about it, and I went to a partial hospitalization program. So I went to the hospital during the day and home at night. That was extremely helpful for me. I don't know where I'd be without that. There's so many great things that I learned. But my mental health is plummeting a bit again. I do need to get in with a therapist, and that's another goal of 2025 is to start therapy. So 2024 was a lot. There was a lot that I dealt with, and going into 2025, I feel a lot of peace. I'm going in knowing that it's okay to be feeling all of these difficult emotions, and that when I have those emotions, there are people that I can go to. I want to encourage you to, if you are going into 2025 feeling completely overwhelmed by everything that life can throw at you, and it can throw a lot at you, you don't have to do it alone. There are people that will sit with you when you don't feel okay. And I think it's really important that you know that you're not alone.